to a new Clash of the Horns, and today I will be making an NFL draft video for you guys, talking about the 5 players I think the Rams could get at 31st overall in the first round. So these are my 5 candidates to be selected by the Rams in the first round. Started with number 5. He might not be an immediate need, but he will be great for the Rams in the future. Maybe immediate if Eric Weddle gets injured, and I'm talking about Darnell Savage. Who's Darnell Savage? Well, he's a free safety out of Maryland. If you haven't seen him already and his videos on YouTube or on college football, he is a great free safety. I consider him like a hybrid. He's very good at tackling. He's great in being a ball hawk in the secondary. Imagine having 2 John Johnsons in the backfield. That's what a guy like Darnell Savage will give you. Not a lot of people are very high because he doesn't come from like a big school. If you've seen him in college, he does great. He's the best player in his defense in Maryland. And even though that might not say a lot to you guys, if you see in his tape, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you see the need that the Rams have, maybe not right now because we have Eric Weddle, but what if Eric Weddle goes down? What if he gets hurt? Who do we have after that? Countess? Come on, dude. Darnell Savage is a first-round talent, a late first-round talent. I'm not going to say he's an early or mid, but I'm going to say he's a late first-round talent. Maybe an early second round, which is a lot of people are speculating that he could probably go early in second round. So why not go and pick one of the best players in this draft and a need that you're going to have after Eric Weddle eventually retires, or he ends up getting cut because he's not as good as people thought he would be for the Rams. So Darnell Savage brings youth to a defense that looks like it's starting to get a little older in the secondary. We do have Aqib Talib, we have Nickell Robey-Coleman, we have Marcus Peters still for another year, and John Johnson. So why not bring Darnell Savage, who brings speed. He brings the intermediate passing game is his best. He has catch-up speed, which is what, 4.36, his 40-yard dash. He had 11 reps. He's 5'11", so he's a little bit bigger than Lamarcus Joyner. So he brings physicality with him as well. So he's going to be a really good pick for the Rams. I think the Rams will do great with Darnell Savage. And plus, his name is Savage. That looks beast when it comes to Rams jersey history. Name me another great last name. Youngblood, Slater, Savage. Yeah, I'm hyping this guy up. I'm a fanboy of his. Of course, I'm going to hype him up. So that's my number 5. Number 4, out of Michigan. Yes, I'm going to bring his name. He's Thor incarnated. I love the fact that he has passion for the game, and I'm talking about Chase Winovich out of Michigan. The dude is a baller. He might not be one of the big name edge rushers in the draft, but his contribution to the defense, if you've seen his game tape, one-on-ones, his physicality, his speed nonetheless. He runs a 4.59, 18 reps on the bench press. The dude is a beast when it comes to being an edge rusher. He's overlooked because of other edge rushers in the combine, but the dude is great. He's a football player nonetheless, and I like what I see from Chase Winovich. And a lot of people that I follow on Twitter really like this guy. He's highly graded in Pro Football Focus in the upper 80s, lower 90s when it comes to his passing, his pass rush, his bull rush, all that good stuff you want to see at a edge rusher. He's got it. So to me, he's kind of like a younger Clay Matthews type of player, maybe without the stats, but his productivity is very high. And we have players on this defense like Dante Fowler and Aaron Donald and Clay Matthews. Having a Chase Winovich will help you win games. And from what I heard is that Clay Matthews might not be necessarily an edge rusher all the time. He could be an inside linebacker because he's very knowledgeable of the position. Plus, he's a linebacker on the edge. So it depends on what you want to get out of this team. And Chase Winovich at the edge will help the Rams regardless. Plus, he could be a special teams guy. And I think overall, it would be a good move for the Rams to find another edge guy, maybe to replace Clay when he either gets hurt or might retire. So I like that move, and I think the fact that he's highly graded in the combine and in Pro Football Focus, it could be a sleeper pick for the Rams, which they're very good at getting good quality picks the last couple of drafts. Number 3, the Rams will need offensive linemen. Maybe they can help develop some offensive linemen in this draft. And one of the offensive linemen that's rumored for the Rams is Garrett Bradbury out of North Carolina State. So the guy is great, highly graded in the combine, one of the most graded offensive linemen in the draft this season. Maybe center might not be a necessary need at the moment, but his knowledge of the zone scheme makes him very valuable, especially with teams like the Rams that are zone scheme related when they're blocking. And his speed is pretty great. I mean, if you look at his combine numbers, it's 4.92 second 40. His bench press is 34 reps, and he's got pretty good size, and he just fits the Rams offensive line very well. And one thing about the Rams, they have to protect Jared Goff. When we played teams that weren't really good at getting after the quarterback, we destroyed them. But once we got against the best teams, like they had either power or they had a lot of good edge rushing talent, the Rams would struggle. And obviously every team that goes against those teams will struggle. But the Rams struggled against the Patriots, who were kind of under the radar defensively, and they got destroyed with power in the Super Bowl. I don't want to bring flashbacks back to you guys, but we need to get younger in the offensive line. If you look at Andrew Whitworth, highly graded still. I wanted him back. He's back for another year, and God bless him. God bless him, because it sucks that if he were to retire after that Super Bowl loss, that would have been terrible, and I still feel bad for the guy. He's such a great human being, but he's getting older. Saffold left, so that leaves Noteboom at the left guard position, left tackle position, possibly any position in the offensive line. We're going to move him there. We'll make him a center if we have to. But that's the thing. The Rams have to make their linemen that they drafted fill in roles that they're not necessarily comfortable in. They'll just put them there and see what happens. But if we can get a guy like Garrett who can come in and help the Rams in the offensive line, that's a valuable position for the Rams right now, because they have to, protect their investment in Jared Goff. They have to get the most out of him right now that he's in his rookie deal. Because if we don't get the most out of him, then when we pay the guy, then we can't, pay for other things of the team, because we're paying a quarterback top dollar. That's what basically Jared Goff is going to get, is top dollar for his production. So I think it would be very smart for the Rams to go offensive line if they can in the first round, especially that the Rams need to get younger. Sullivan got cut for money and because he's older, and he got destroyed against teams like the Eagles and the Saints and overpowered in the Super Bowl. It just looked bad, you guys. It sucks because I really like Saffold, but he wanted to go get money, and I really like Sullivan, but he was old and rusty and slow, and it showed in the Super Bowl and against teams that had really good defensive linemen. So if we can get younger on the offensive line, a guy that can come in and just improve us dramatically, then the Rams, in my opinion, could be unstoppable in 2019, especially some of the moves that they're making. And they're making calculated moves, bringing in guys like Eric Weddle and bringing in guys like Clay Matthews, and it just looks good for the Rams right now. But we have to play it smart, go on the draft, and draft well. Moving on. My number two prospect for the Rams to come in is Jerry Tillery out of Notre Dame, defensive lineman who is being linked to the Rams because they think he's going to drop to early second, late first. So if we don't draft him, some other team will. Because one thing about him is his pass rush is great. He can get after the quarterback as a defensive lineman. One weakness, though, his bench press, his strength is not so great. It's actually kind of bad for a defensive lineman. 23 bench press for a defensive lineman, are you kidding me? I think there's linebackers that can bench press that much. 23 reps on the bench press, but he does have a 4.93 second 40, and he's a pretty nice size for a defensive lineman. He's 6'6", 292, and he's got a great body to work with when it comes to getting after the quarterback. And that's one of the things. If you put Aaron Donald on one side and they're thinking about moving Michael Brockers to nose tackle. If that happens, then Jerry Tillery will come in and play the left-hand role on a 3-4 defense, and they can probably get at the quarterback in that way, plus the edge rushers that they have and the inside linebackers. So it makes a lot of sense for the Rams to go defensive line in the first round if they can still get a quality defensive lineman, and just kind of move Michael Brockers to the nose tackle position, because he's not really a good pass rusher, but he can stop the run, and he still has a lot of strength, and he's actually pretty good at stopping the run, and he wasn't a liability in that sense. He was good, and I think moving him to nose tackle, getting a younger guy at the left end position will help the Rams win some football games. Jerry Tillery out of Notre Dame makes a lot of sense to me. Now, number one, the one guy that everyone's linking the Rams to because of the role he could have on the defense, plus his physicality and his overall defensive line swag. Yes, I'm talking about Dexter Lawrence out of Clemson. A lot of teams are thinking about, is he fast? Can he fit the role? Can he be that guy for us and the defense? And I think if teams aren't smart to draft him before the Rams do, the Rams will be the perfect team for Dexter Lawrence. I do think, though, he might end up a late mid first round pick or early late first round pick. Maybe the Eagles might be a good place for him to go. Heard perhaps the Atlanta Falcons, possibly the Panthers. I keep hearing things like that, rumors that other teams might get him. If he drops to 31st in the draft, the NFL is crazy. This guy is a run-stopping machine. In passing circumstances, like getting after the quarterback on the third down and short, I think he could be a liability, but I've seen him become just a problem. And plus, having Aaron Donald there just makes sense to get a guy like Dexter Lawrence. He's the guy that we've been wanting and hoping Ndamukong Suh would have been. And Ndamukong Suh did a really good job, but he just wasn't the type of guy that Dexter Lawrence is. He's a pure nose tackle that can overpower your center and your guard and possibly the other guard, and then that will leave Aaron Donald with one-on-ones. And it's stopping the run. He's a gem when it comes to stopping the run. I think he would be the best stop the run defensive tackle in this draft, and I just really like the guy. I think he fits perfectly for the Rams, and if he fell to 31st, the Rams would be crazy to not select him. And he's just really good. He runs a 5.05 second 40-yard dash. He's 342 pounds, so he's gonna take two linemen to get him, to stop him basically. I don't see any center in the NFL going one-on-one with him and winning. I think Dexter Lawrence has that body and overall brute strength that become a problem and get the rest of the team one-on-ones to get after the quarterback. And I just like the guy. He's just got that swag at nose tackle. And if it's not Darnell Savage, it's Dexter Lawrence who I'm going to be fanboying. But that's just me, you guys. I think he's just a perfect fit for the Rams if he falls to us. If he doesn't, hopefully the Rams can either get more picks and go get some quality pieces on the team, or maybe one of these other 5 guys will end up getting selected by the Rams. But to be honest, I think there will be one of these 5 guys remaining at 31st, so we can't go wrong picking any of these. But to me, Dexter Lawrence makes the most sense, and I would be very happy if we ended up drafting him. So let me know what you guys think. Tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if some of these guys you wouldn't even put in the first round, maybe they fall. Let me know what you guys think. But those are my 5 guys I hope the Rams draft.
Ticky-tack either way it was called.
Here's a flip to the freshman, Deshaun Jameson, who's blown up in the back.
Hamler in the slot to the right on 2nd and 10. McSorley looks back to his left, and he'll be sacked right away by Chase Winovich, the Pennsylvania native.
Right back to Person. Walks in for a Wolfpack touchdown.
Costello hit and sacked. Almost lost the ball.
99, Jerry Tillery.
Timeout.
That's Nate Herbig, their best offensive lineman. He's just putting them in the backfield, pushing them past the quarterback, and then getting to the quarterback.
A good timeout taken by Notre Dame.
Playing tempo, Kirk, with the backup quarterback, and Dillon's got it, and he's going to be dragged down. Nothing doing there. Stopped short of the first down.
Kansas.
Looking for their first SEC win. Chad Morris, of course, who left Clemson.
Guys.
Watch 90 just push back.
2nd and 4. Joel's trying to run it again. Won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Dexter Lawrence made sure of that. And then he